And good evening, everybody, and welcome. It is game number 2 of the 2023 college football season that will be broadcast here on Savor Broadcast Network. With that, I'm Cooper Naylor, and what a game we got here. And I mean, I said it last night. This is the second best game of the week, and I don't remember a time when you could truthfully say that the best games of a weekend of college football does not come on Saturday. It's been a long time, or I don't know if ever. Of course, you would have to go dig very hard to find an answer to that. But tonight is a game where we've got a lot of questions. Of course, the question for Utah is, can Cam Rising go? Of course, I've been kind of busy today, so if there has been some updates I am not aware of yet, of course, we will see at kickoff if, whenever Utah goes on offense to begin the game, their first drive, we'll see who's out there at quarterback, either Rising or Bryson Barnes. Another big key piece that may be out tonight, Brant Keithy. Of course, like I said, I'm not exactly sure he's playing tonight, so that'll be big to see whether or not he's playing. But on the other side, you got quarterback Graham Mertz at Florida. It's going to be interesting to see what is he going to do? Of course, started his career at Wisconsin, transferred in here to Florida. He's now the starting quarterback. So this game, if we're unsure about both quarterbacks, then I think this is a game where it's going to be heavy run game. So we will see what happens tonight with college football here on Savor Broadcast Network, as they are getting ready to take the field. They are in Salt Lake City at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Utah playing as the home team. They are wearing the red jerseys. I believe they got, from what I saw, the red helmet with red shorts. So Utah, of course, this is not the first time. And it looks like Bryson Barnes may be the starter tonight for Utah. So, of course, we will see at kickoff. So, and also Nate Johnson, number 13, he may be in there to play quarterback. Well, they said, according to Kyle Whittingham, he will be playing. So Cam Rising is not playing tonight. Bryson Barnes is the starter for Utah tonight. So this is going to be interesting, folks. So here we go. But first, it is Cole Becker up to kick the ball away for Utah. And, of course, it is time for college football to begin. 15 minutes. Here we go. And here comes the return. And that is going nowhere for the Gators. And here we go. Graham Mertz and the Florida Gator offense coming out to take the field. So here we go. Graham Mertz was named the starter on August 11th. So we shall see how he does. So right now, he's about to take his first snap as the starting quarterback of the Florida Gators. Graham Mertz will. So it will be interesting to see which running back is back there, and also we shall see. So here we go. Graham Mertz is at quarterback. He's got Montreal Johnson Jr. in the backfield with him to his right. Graham Mertz looking around, trying to get the play call. And here's the snap. It's a pass play, and it'll be thrown and caught by, it looks like, number 22 right there. That is Khalil Jackson for the Gators. So it's 2nd down and 2 to go. So it looks like they're wanting to use some tempo. Here's Ricky Pearsall, and he is just leveled, folks. It is now 3rd down and about a yard, I believe, to go for them right now. Of course, my clock right here is a little bit behind. And this play is just a jet sweep kind of play. And of course, he was taken down by number 15, Tal Johnson for Utah. All right, here we go. We got a 3rd and 1. And we've got a flag on the play, folks. There is a flag. And it's going against the offense, folks. It is a false start on the Gators. So here we go. We got a 3rd and 6 right here for the Gators. Graham Mertz got his running back. Believe that still is, yes, that's still Montreal Johnson Jr. And it's a pass out to him, and it is dropped. And it will be 4th down and 6 to go here for the Gators. So they will have to punt. And it wasn't a bad throw. It just slipped out of the hands of Montreal Johnson. So back to punt is Jeremy Crawshaw. And that one he sends away. And will be caught and leveled right there. And that brings out Bryson Barnes and this Utah offense. So Bryson Barnes, he grew up raising 12,000 pigs on a farm. Wow. And he's got 137 career passing touchdowns in high school, it looked like. And then he won his only career start versus Washington State in 2022. So, little nice information. So, it is Bryson Barnes' 2nd career start. So, let's see what he can do. Here we go. Bryson Barnes has got his back behind him. It is Jaquindon Jackson. Here's the snap. Bryson Barnes looking deep. He's got a man. It's caught! He's got touchdown early. What a play! Oh my goodness. They dialed it up early, folks. A 70-yard touchdown to Money Parks, and what a play. And like that, one play and Florida is down 6-0. What a play. Bryson Barnes showing the arm strength. What a play. Man. All right, here's Cole Becker. He is ready to kick this extra point. It is up, and it is good. The Utah Utes, they have come to play on just a play-action play. Bryson Barnes just unloads it. Perfect pass. Money Parks is money. And that is how Utah has a 7-0 lead early. What a play for the touchdown. We will be back in just a moment. And welcome back. And what a play. Also, as you see down there on your screen, I will be here for halftime as well tonight. So, because it is a special Thursday night broadcast of college football here on Savor Broadcast Network. So, I'll be back for halftime. Here we go. Cole Becker is ready to send this one away. And there is the kick. And Florida will just let this go to the back of the end zone. So, here is the question, folks. What is Florida going to do now after that? Incredible throw and catch right there from Utah. So, we will see what they can do here on 1st and 10. So, here we go. Graham Mertz is back. He's got his running back to his left. Sends receiver in motion. That's Ricky Pearsall. And that is Trevor Etienne. And it is a designed quarterback run. That'll get about a few yards. So here we go. As the clock keeps running. And it looks like we have an injured player here early. And it looked like it was a head-to-head collision right there. You had Tal Johnson. And then coming off is Kareem Reed, number 21. And he's their rover, as they call it, on the defense. So he comes up a little shaken up. So we shall see how that affects Utah throughout this game. Here we go. Graham Mertz. He's got Trevor Etienne behind him. He takes a snap. It's a handoff to Trevor Etienne. And that will just go back to the line of scrimmage, folks. So it is now third down here for the Gators. Clock continues to roll. It is 3rd and 5. And Utah's defense, what are they going to... Can they stop them again right here? Florida could really use a conversion here after that quick strike by Utah. Here we go. He's got his running back to his left. It's Trevor Etienne. It's a fake to Etienne, and it's a throw across the middle and dropped. And again, that was Khalil Jackson right there. He was trying to find Khalil Jackson, and now it's 4th down. And Florida will have to punt once again. And so for the second time on a 3rd down here for the Gators, it was an incompletion that derailed the drive. So Micah Pittman is back to receive the punt. As there it is, going way back. Here goes Micah Pittman, turning around, dancing around, and being stopped. So it'll be Utah football here in just a second as the offense comes back out. So it is 1st and 10 with 11:42 to go here in the first quarter. And with as much action that's been going on, it is shocking to see that we haven't even played 4 full minutes of football action yet. Of course, Bryson Barnes, and we have a flag on the field. And this is going to back them up, it looks like. It's a false start, and it's going against Utah. So that will back them up to about a 1st and 15. All right, here's Bryson Barnes. He's got 2 running backs in the backfield with him. As there is the pass. He's got his man, and that is number 17 right there, Devon Bailey. That is for a few yards. It's going to be 2nd down, getting a bunch of yards back for the Gators. It'll be 2nd and 6. As you can see, I just reset my timer. Not going to worry about time and down distance, that kind of thing tonight. So here we go. Bryson Barnes again in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Jaquindon Jackson, who will run it for maybe not even a yard right there. As we got some extracurricular stuff going on after the fact. So the teams are having to be separated a little bit. It will be 3rd down here for Utah. They have a 7-0 lead here early. And last season on 3rd down conversions, Utah was 5th in the country, while Florida was 129th. So here we go. Bryson Barnes back to pass, and we got another flag on the field. Sloppy game here so far. And we got another false start against Utah. Another one, folks. So this is going to make it about 3rd and 10 or 11 right here. Not easy here early not easy on this drive. 3rd and 10 for Utah. So Here we go. As Bryson Barnes has got his running back to behind him and to his left. He sends a man in motion. Bryson Barnes looking down the middle. It's caught. Great play. And that right there is number 87, Thomas Yasman, right there. One of the tight ends for Utah making the catch. And just a nice bullet pass here. Right where it needed to be. Great pass there by Bryson Barnes. And it is a first down for Utah. So they get out of a jam with that third down. Here we go. Bryson Barnes is a man in motion. It's a fake to his running back. Bryson Barnes looking over the middle. It's caught. And that is number 47 right there, Mickey Sigatoraga. Right there for Utah. And Utah here early. Great. I mean, they're playing great offense, and they're just Florida's defense here early. They don't look as if they are ready for this matchup. They look very outmatched here early in the game. And so here we go. Here is a fake. Bryson Barnes will take off with it, and he picks up a few yards with his legs. So we got about 8.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Utah just playing great football here early. Bryson Barnes is 4 for 4, 108 yards already, and a touchdown. Of course, much of that being the 70-yard bomb he threw for the touchdown. So here we go. Bryson Barnes under center, and he will hand it off to his running back, who will pick up a few yards right there. And that is Glover on the carry. So we have a 3rd and 3 now for Utah. And Florida just... So here we go. If you are a Florida fan, here is your chance to get off the field. They could really use a little bit of momentum here early, because just here early, it is all Utah so far when it comes to momentum. So here is the handoff to Glover, and Florida will get a stop. And Florida's about to get the football back. That is a 4th down and about 3 to go. Unless Utah decides to go for this, which they could possibly go for this. We shall see what they do. But, okay, it'll be a punt. And there is Jack Baumeister. And that one will go for a touchback, as Florida will get the football. They need a little bit of offensive momentum coming. If you're the Gators. If you're Utah, this has been a great start. We will return in just a moment. And welcome back here to college football on Savor Broadcast Network. I'm Cooper Naylor, and so Florida, their last regular season road game versus a Pac-12 opponent was in 1983, and they tied against USC 19 apiece. So that is a little bit of history right there. So here we go. Graham Mertz. He's got a man in motion, and he will hand it to him. It is a run right there. And that right there is number 3, Eugene Wilson III, on a little motion play as the receiver got a chance to run it right there for the Gators. It'll be 2nd and 1 now, as here is Graham Mertz sending a few men in motion. He's got Montrell Johnson Jr. as his running back. Sends another man in motion. It's a fake. Mertz looking. He's going to throw. It's caught. That's a first down, definitely. And he will be brought down about the 35 on Utah's side of the field. And just a nice play right there. If you are the Gators, that is number 88. That is number 88. So I look, Marcus Burke. And just a great play. First down, Florida. 34, as far as where they're spotted. Here's the fake. Mertz looking. He's going to pass it back to Montrell Johnson Jr. He's got the edge. He's got a first down. And he loses the football. And Florida will just luckily get it back. And that is Micah Maskua who jumps on it. Still getting the first down, but Montrell Johnson Jr. losing the football on the way. And you could argue that they may review this because it looked as if his elbow was down when he lost the football. It may not. Who knows? They will not. As here's Mertz slipping a little bit, and he will be sacked. He is sacked right there, and that is just a great defensive play. That is Jonah Ellis for Utah, number 83. And just a great defensive play. Really setting up that play was just a great defensive play. Ellis just came in and got the sack. And you're looking at a 2nd and 18 here for the Gators. As we go to about 4:15 left to go here in this first quarter. Graham Mertz, he's got a couple men in the backfield with him. Trevor Etienne is his running back. 2nd and 18. Graham Mertz will hand it off to Etienne. Etienne's got a little bit of a hole, and he will get to about the 19-yard line there for the Gators to make it a 3rd down. A little bit more manageable now. And in Florida, really, hopefully they can get something on the board here if you're a Gators fan. It is 3rd and 12 here for the Gators. And, of course, playing here at Utah. So, of course, dealing with some crowd noise. Ricky Pearsall goes in motion. He will stop at the right of Graham Mertz. Mertz now looking. He's going to pass, and that is nowhere close. And that is going to be a 4th down. Receiving that football was number 4, Caleb Douglas. And that should set up a field goal opportunity here for the Gators. So, coming out is Adam Mihalek, the kicker for the Gators. This is a 32-yard field goal attempt. And last season, Mihalek was 4 for 5 from 30 to 39 yards. So here we go. Here's the snap. It's clean. And the kick is good. Florida has come down and made it a 4-point game. It is 7-3 Utah with 2:27 to go in the first quarter. And that drive, that was the best drive Florida's put together here so far tonight. Of course, we will be back in just a moment. All right, welcome back as there is the kick from Trace Mack. He kicks it off, and here comes the Utes. And that was a return for a few yards right there. And here early, Utah. Bryson Barnes, his connection to Money Parks, that was an incredible throw. And what a play. I mean, that was the first offensive play. And then here early, the Utah Utes just playing really great football. So here we go. Bryson Barnes under center. He fakes the handoff to Jaquindon Jackson, and that one's just going to be thrown away. So, real quickly, trying to get some information sent out real quick. So, here we go. Here's the snap. Bryson Barnes hands it off. That's Jaquindon Jackson, and he will pick up a few yards right there. As it'll be third down and about, I believe, 7 yards to go. And Nate Johnson is on the bike, just kind of getting himself warmed up. So, of course, Kyle Whittingham has said he will play tonight. So we will see when he comes in the game. We have a 3rd and 6 right here for Utah. Bryson Barnes takes a snap. He's looking, and that'll be incomplete. No flags. Just a clean play, and it will be a punt for Utah, as now it seems like Florida may be getting a little bit of momentum. That was right there. Derek Wingo making the play to stop the reception. And you could argue a little bit of a hold as he held Micah Bernard back. So Baumeister punting it back. Ricky Persall is ready, and he will call fair catch. We got a minute and 24. Well, we got about a minute and a half to go here in the first quarter. Florida's got the football back. And so just an interesting game here so far. Utah, other than having that incredible play for the touchdown, which has really got the separation, they put together a couple more good plays, but haven't been able to do anything else. Florida's offense has looked decent so far. You could tell, I think, from both teams so far is that there are a lot of jitters from being here early. So, and of course, it's the first game. So I feel like there's a lot of jitters out there, some drop balls so far, and so we'll see how that goes. And there is a run right there for number 20, Trayon Webb for the Gators. And so, of course, Florida, the run game is going okay so far here in the game. I would say that what has really been interesting is just the passing game for both teams. It's been a highlight, I would believe, so far. So here we go. Graham Mertz is by himself in the backfield. It's a 2nd and 7. Mertz looking, passing. It's caught by Burke. What a pass, and what placement right there by Graham Mertz. He put that on the back shoulder of that defender, only where his receiver could go get it. Graham Mertz, what a pass. That is a great play. And we are under 30 seconds to go in this first quarter, and I got to tell you, if you're a Florida fan, I think just a little bit of what I've seen so far, this has been a good quarter from Graham Mertz. So here we go. Fakes the handoff. Mertz looking, throwing. He's got his tight end, and that he goes down for a first down. That'll end the first quarter, but that was number 87, Jonathan Odom right there on what was a really nice setup play. Jonathan Odom just made a play, and that's a first down. As that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. Florida has the football driving down the field down 7-3 as they look to score when we return. And welcome back to Salt Lake City here in Utah, where the Gators face the Utes. Here we go. Here is a run. And that'll pick up about 2 yards there for the Gators. Montrell Johnson Jr. And with that, I'm Cooper Naylor. Thanks for joining us here tonight. It is the beginning of the second quarter here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. And Florida has a great drive going. They are in the red zone, and Graham Mertz is in the backfield all alone. It is second down and 7 to go. Mertz, he's looking, and that'll be incomplete. As the national coverage there on ESPN, they had a couple of little technical difficulties there for a second. So Mertz looking for Ricky Pearsall, and there was defender number 5 for Utah, Zamaya Vaughn. So he had the defense on Ricky Pearsall. So here we go. Graham Mertz sends Montrell Johnson out wide. So here we go. Mertz is all alone in the backfield. He takes the snap, and we got a flag on the play. And it is going against Florida. So it is a delay of game. And it took way too long. He was late on that of telling his running back, Montrell Johnson Jr. He was just late on telling him, go out wide. So then that led to a delay of game. It's now 3rd and 12 here for the Gators. So here we go. Graham Mertz, he's got Johnson to his left. He's going to take the snap, and he's looking to throw. Moving around is Mertz. He takes off the run. He got close. He lost the football, and it will run. It will go out of bounds. But he almost got the first down. He put his body on the line for that one, and it almost paid off. As on the national broadcast, they're showing he almost had an open lane. It was great recovery defense there by the Utes, and really the big Sion Vaki, the safety for the Utes, he just blew that play up before Mertz got the first down. But just a great defensive play. Mertz, he put his body on the line. So now it's 4th and 1. Here we go. Mertz is going to go under center here. And we got a flag. So we shall see what this is on. And it's a false start, and it's against Florida. So they are going to, after getting some hope on this drive, it's looking like they're just going to have to settle for another field goal. And if you're a Gator fan, that has got to eat you alive. But you've got Adam Mihalek. He made a 32-yard field goal earlier here in the game. So here we go. This is 31 yards. And there's the snap. It's clean. Mihalek, and it's far right. It is far right. And now it's Utah football. And instead of it being 7-6, it's 7-3. Oh my gosh. And this is just a bad kick. It just goes wide left. And if you are a fan of the Utes, you have got to be ecstatic right now. Because after that first drive, you haven't been able to do much. And now And now when you just thought Florida may have gotten a little bit of momentum in this game, it's all back to Utah now. Man. And here we go as Nate Johnson has made his entrance into the game. And his first play will be a handoff to Micah Bernard, who will go for about 3 yards right there. So Bryson Barnes came in for a little bit, played solid here early. And this is Nate Johnson's 5th career game. He played last year. So he played 4 games in last season. So this is the 5th career game we're seeing Nate Johnson. So here we go. Sending his tight end Yasmin in motion. And it's a fake. Johnson's going to take off. And he's got a first down right there for the Utes. So already Nate Johnson's showing you his ability to get out and make plays with his legs. So just a really good play right there. So here we go as another first down here for the Utes. 12 and a half minutes to go here in the second quarter. Johnson, he's got his running back Bernard to his left. It's a handoff to Bernard. Bernard finds a hole, and that is another first down for Utah as they are nearing midfield. And Florida's defense here early has been, it hasn't been incredible defense, but it's been good enough to get off the field most of the time here tonight. Well, in the first quarter, it got them off the field all but one play when, of course, Utah had the long touchdown. But of course, there's going to be a lot of, you would think Florida's going to need a lot of help with their defense later in the season. But here we go. Nate Johnson. It's another handoff to Bernard, and that picks up about 2 yards right there. So we're going to have a second down. Good play by the defensive line of Florida. It's Searcy. That's TJ Searcy making the play. It's 2nd and 8 to go for Utah. Again, they are nearing midfield. They are at about the 46-yard line. And Nate Johnson is the quarterback out there for Utah right at the moment. Of course, like we said at the top of the broadcast, because we figured it out during the broadcast, that Cam Rising will not play tonight. And there's a slight little fumble, and Nate Johnson will be taken down for about a 6-yard loss. And Florida has a little something to celebrate right there. As Kyle Whittingham on that Utah sideline does not look happy. And just a bad snap right there. Bad snap right there if you are on Jaron Kump. Just bad snap. So now we have a 3rd and 12 here for the Utes. Clock ticks more. Under 10 and a half minutes to go. Utah's 1 for 3 on third downs. Florida is 0 for 4. Nate Johnson looking to throw. He passes it, but it is short. Still caught by his receiver. But not enough for the first down, as it looks like they are going to leave. They may leave the offense out for this 4th and 3. Or never mind. They are going to send the punting unit out. So here we go. Utah is ready to punt this ball back to Florida, pin them deep. Great strategy here. And there is the punt. And we have a flag on the play. So let's see who this is against. So, as you can already tell, we had like 4 penalties total last Saturday during Navy and Notre Dame. We've already eclipsed that. And it's going against Florida. And if I believe this correctly, from what they just showed, I believe it may be Utah football. So far, there's been 6 penalties in this game. Florida's had 4 for 20 yards, and Utah's had 2 for 10 yards. And coming back out on the field, Nate Johnson goes out, and Bryson Barnes is back in the game. So here we go. From about the 44-yard line on Florida's side of the field, here's Bryson Barnes looking, throwing, and way over his receiver's hands. That's Emory Simmons he was looking for. And that was close to being an interception right there. So, just a bad throw as Bryson Barnes walks back up to his team to give some directions. So, of course, Bryson Barnes has been out there for a little bit, playing some good football here early. Just made a bad throw just a second ago. Here's the pass. It's back out. And I believe that's Matthews, who is number 0. Yes, that is Matthews. So that'll be 3rd down right there. And just a good throw here from Bryson Barnes, finding the wide open receiver. And he just goes out and he makes a play. A good drive here so far for the Utes. Of course, had a little bit of help from that penalty from the Gators on the punting unit. So here's Nate Johnson back out on the field. It looks like an option style play. Nate Johnson's going to keep it, and he'll pick up about 2 yards right there. It'll be 2nd down and about 8 here to go for Utah. And just a methodical drive right here. A lot of just great play. If you are a Utah fan, a lot to be happy about. So here we go. Nate Johnson takes a snap, fakes it. He takes off. He's got a lane. Nate Johnson, I believe he got in. He did. Touchdown, Utah. And you just talk about a 9-point swing. Florida is looking to score a field goal on that last drive. They do not. They miss it. And then Nate Johnson comes back on the other side of the field and has a rushing touchdown to make it a 10-point lead for Utah. 5:45 on that drive, 10 plays, 80 yards, as the extra point is good. Utah has taken a 14-3 lead, folks. What a drive here. And Nate Johnson using his legs. Great play. Utah leads 14-3. We'll be back in a minute. And welcome back. So far, Bryson Barnes is 5 for 8, 123 yards, and he threw a touchdown. And then Nate Johnson's thrown one pass. He completed it for about 9 yards. So far, a good 1-2 duo. Also, you see up there at the top, I've got my banner right there. As it says right there, if you got any questions regarding college football, either type them in the chat or now you can send them to the channel's new email, saverbroadcastnetwork@gmail.com. If you have any questions that you want to ask regarding college football, I'm happy to answer it. So we just had a kickoff. That was Cole Becker kicking it away, and Florida is set to begin their drive here in just a minute. So, a little announcement about what's coming up at halftime. I am here to give you a basically what we're going to do at halftime is we're going to do a little Q&A time, let you ask some questions. So if you have any questions about the game, what do I think about how this certain player's doing, then I'll answer it. And then also we will go around the country looking at the scoreboard to see what is happening in the other places that are built, the other games that are on right now. So I wonder either way. So of course, an interesting game we have here at Utah. So we will be back in just a moment. And welcome back. On the national broadcast, they are showing where Nate Johnson, he transferred in from Oregon to Utah and just showing his ability to run. Man, I got to tell you, he is a fast guy. And so, of course, that is definitely a steal for Utah to get him. Of course, him and Bryson Barnes are splitting action at quarterback. So it is now 1st and 10 here for the Florida Gators. And let's see what they can do. Both teams, as far as total yards, Utah's got 195, Florida's got 138. So far, I would say that Florida has done some good things on offense. They just have to finish the drive. That is the big thing here. And I think any of you watching the national broadcast but turning them off because, you'd rather listen to me broadcast the game because I'm 100% better than them. Either way, here is a run play for Trevor Etienne. That'll go for about 4 yards. And there is, of course, Utah making the stop. That was, trying to see real quick. I will find it here in just a second as they get set for another play. One man in his backfield. That's Trevor Etienne. He'll take the carry. He's found a lane, and that's a first down for the Florida Gators. That is Bishop making the play there for Utah, stopping Etienne. So, of course, like I said, in about 7 minutes, I will be here taking any kind of questions you may have. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. Of course, just to enjoy, just to make some, engagement with the viewers watching. Here we go. Graham Mertz. It's a fake to his running back. Now looking deep. And that one is way incomplete. He did get hit. And he's having to walk off what looked like a pretty good shot from, and that, of course, is for Utah. Making the hit was, okay. That was number 28 on their defense. Okay, Sion Vaki. Had to look there for a second. So here we go. Mertz sends Pearsall in motion. Mertz fakes it to Etienne, and he's going to be brought down. And that is a sack. Bishop getting him, and it is going to be a long third down here for Florida. They just look like an uninspired team as far as their offensive line. Just terrible offensive line play here early. They are just having a difficult night trying to figure out how do we stop this defensive line or these linebackers for the Utes. We have 6 minutes to go. It's 3rd and 22. Mertz looking. Short pass to Pearsall, and that's dropped. It is dropped, and now it's 4th and 22. Utah will get the football back, and you're just seeing it. Utah is going to win games by playing just incredible defense here. So, and I will, of course, Saturday talk more about this game and what I see from Utah's defense. But what a game so far. All right, Crawshaw sending it back, and that one just goes out of bounds. That was just a bad punt, and that just shows just how this game is going. How about that? About the 46-yard line for Utah on Florida's side of the field to begin this drive. Could not be any worse for the Utes. We will be back. For the Gators, I'm sorry. And we are back. Of course, sorry about that for a second. Didn't have a microphone near me. But great starting field position here for Utah. In just what has been a game where, just where they're just controlling this game. So Utah's won 25 of their last 26 games here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. So here we go. Bryson Barnes is playing the quarterback position at this moment. He hands it off to Jaquindon Jackson, who will pick up about 2 yards there. So, Utah, all they got to do is just play it safe here. Of course, they are in great field position. They just ran the ball a second ago. Clock's just moving. Under 5.5 minutes to go before halftime. 14-3 Utah. And Barnes is in the backfield. He's got his running back, Jaquindon Jackson, Micah Bernard, to his right. Now he throws. And that one's caught by Yasmin for a few yards. It'll be third down for the Utes. And just not in a lot of hurry right at the moment to really make, drastic measure, like not trying to really go down not trying to score too quick. They're 1 for 4 on third downs. Utah is. Florida is 0 for 5. So here we go. Bryson Barnes. He's under center. He's got his running back, Micah Bernard, back there. He'll hand it off to Bernard, and he will just truck his way for a first down. And Thomas Yasmin, he's a Utah tight end, and he looks, and they're showing this. He started out playing rugby. I believe that's either way. Incredibly talented athlete right there. Thomas Yasmin. If you look at him, you can tell he's a big, muscular guy. So, of course, he played rugby. Very physical sport. So, here is a pass by the receiver. This one, it was just a little bit too far. Devon Vele had got the backwards pass from Bryson Barnes, and he was looking for Micah Bernard, and it was just too far for Bernard. Oh, folks. I hate to be that guy, but that just looks like Tom Brady in the Super Bowl trying to catch a pass. Like, literally. I hate to be that guy, but that's what it looked like. So, man, that's just sad. Here we go. Bryson Barnes looking 2nd and 10, and he just has to lose about a yard right there. There's just nothing right there. But again, if you want to kind of, if you want to make some little joke in the chat on that comment right there, as long as it's clean, then take your shot at it, because that, of course, is something. So, of course, I really hated to be that guy, but it really did look like Tom Brady trying to catch a pass. I'm sorry. Here we go. Bryson Barnes looking, passing, and that one's just dropped on the 3rd and 10 right there. He was looking for number 5, Micah Pittman. So here we go. They're in an interesting position right here. It's a 4th and 10. And it'll be interesting to see, will they elect for the long field goal, or are they just going to punt this? Because this would be this would definitely probably be like a 50-plus yard field goal here. And they're going to go for the field goal right here. It is Becker. It's 51 yards. Here we go. Snaps clean. Becker. It's right on the money. What couldn't be going right for Utah? 17-3, and all the momentum is on the home with the home team. With 2:52 to go before halftime, Utah adds to its lead. It's 17-3. And Becker, what a kick. And we welcome you back as here is Becker ready to kick this ball away. And Trevor Etienne will return this. Getting a little bit of a lane and getting out a little past the 25. So here early, Florida just shooting itself in the foot. This game could really, honestly, it could have been 17-6 right now, but a missed field goal, of course. And then just some really bad mistakes here by Florida here early. Bad punts, bad missed field goal, drop passes, penalties. Just Florida just shooting themselves in the foot right now. 2:46 to go here in the second quarter. And Graham Mertz has got two backs behind him. He's going to take the snap and release the football. And again, another drop right there, and that is Montrell Johnson. And I will say the pass was a little bit out in front of him, a little bit harder to catch. But he tried only with one hand. So, and it was a bad snap as well. So, of course, we shall see. It is 2nd and 10. Johnson is in the backfield to the right of Graham Mertz. Mertz will take the snap. Dropping back, looking. And he is down and sacked. That is big. Number 57, Keanu Tanavasa. And just, this offensive line just not giving enough time for Graham Mertz to really decipher where he wants to go with the football. It's just a tough game so far here for Graham Mertz. And his offensive line is not helping him. Here we go. It's a 3rd and 19. Mertz takes the snap, dropping back. He'll pass it. And his receiver just trips himself up. Tony Livingston right there with the catch. And it's 4th down. Florida, this could not be a worse position to be in. If you're Billy Napier, what are you saying to your team? It's simple what you're saying to your team. Come on. Quit shooting yourself in the foot. Because, let's be honest, they have really made a bunch of mental errors that, had they not, this game could be a lot closer. So here we go. There's the punt from Crawshaw, and there's Micah Pittman back to receive it. Pittman makes a little bit of a move, and he will get to about the 28. So we got about a minute to go here in the second quarter. I'll be back for half. Of course, I'm going to stay on for halftime, but not before I take a little tiny break. But with a minute to go here, Utah, they got Bryson Barnes out there. Let's see what they can do. Can they add on to their lead, or are they just content to just run the football and just say, we're going to go the break up 17-3? And quite honestly, who knows what they may do. So we will see. And then also, also at halftime, I forgot to mention this. We will announce Saturday's game at halftime. So here we go. Bryson Barnes looking to pass. He's got his man, and that one is number 2, Bernard. Micah Bernard. So they're playing a little bit of a hurry-up style. 2nd and 3. And there is the first timeout called of the game. And that is Utah using one. So they're going to talk it over and just deliberate what they're going to do. And so far, Utah really is just outplaying Florida in this game. The first quarter, I felt like it was more even. But here in the second quarter, Utah is really imposing its will on this game. And Florida's just having a really hard time trying to keep up with this offense. It is 17-3 Utah. So, in total plays, though, they're pretty even. 28 for Utah and 26 for Florida right at this moment. So here we go. Bryson Barnes. He's got 2 back spot in the backfield with him. Bryson Barnes takes the snap, looking. He's got Bernard. And that's Matthews. So they're going to let the clock run a little bit as they hurry and get to the line of scrimmage. Bryson Barnes looking. He'll throw it now. And that is Devon Vele with the catch. And the clock is stopped. I believe there's another timeout. Possibly, yes. A second timeout called by Utah. They got 40 seconds to go. Trying to make their way down the field to get either a touchdown or just a field goal. Trying to just add on to the lead. Of course, anything you can add on right now just to not give any kind of momentum in going into halftime for Florida. That is a big thing if you are Utah. Of course, so far we saw Cole Becker hit a 51-yard field goal. So he's got the leg. So we shall see where Utah is content to say, here's where we need to get to get a field goal opportunity. And it looks like it could possibly be from about the 36-yard line is where they're needing to go on Florida side of the field. Here we go. Bryson Barnes looking, throwing in the coverage, and it's broken up. And if his defender would have, and that's number 10 right there for Florida. As I real quick try to, that was number 10 right there for Florida on their defense. He tried, so he only put one hand. Had he put two, then potentially that could have been an interception. And that would have given a little bit of momentum. So here we go. Barnes, little pass right there, and now just get back to the line of scrimmage. And now if you're Utah, that would, and it looks like it's fourth down, and they're just about, it's 4th and 5. And we'll stoppage in play, and Florida will call a timeout here. Interesting. 17 seconds, quite possibly thinking that they could make a little play before halftime. But not a lot there if you're Utah. So 19 seconds ago, they've put 2 seconds back on the clock. So let's say you get the ball back. Maybe you can get a chance at a Hail Mary at the end zone if you're Florida, if you get the football back, which Utah is going to punt it right here. So if you are Florida, you are looking at a couple of chunk plays to set yourself up for either, you have a chance if they can manage it the correct way to get a field goal here and make it 17-6, or you'll have a chance at a Hail Mary possibly. So they are going to let this bounce, and it gets about to a 9-yard line of Utah. So 9 seconds, though. You have a chance for 2 chunk plays with 9 seconds if they manage it correctly. So I will say, if I'm going to predict where they're going to have to go, Graham Mertz, if given the time by his offensive line, I feel like you got to go to Ricky Pearsall here. You've got to go deep and got to make sure that you can make these plays and go quick. So 4.5 seconds. You got 2 plays. You got to have 4.5 seconds, or now they're just going to take a knee and head to halftime, folks. So what has been a rather just embarrassing second quarter if you're Florida. Utah is going to get the football to begin the second half, folks. Man. We will return in just a moment to give you some halftime and some updates on scores. So stick around. And welcome back, everybody. It is halftime out in Salt Lake City, 17-3. Utah leads in what has been just a dominant performance from just a Utah team that we didn't know what to expect with Cam Rising's out. Brant Keithy hasn't played tonight, so he's out. So we didn't know what to expect. And to be completely honest with you, Utah looks fine. But Florida, on the other hand, they look outmatched. Like, Florida does not look like they have come to play competitive football tonight. And it's just been rough. The offensive line for Florida has been a real issue. Graham Mertz just doesn't have the time to really be set up to make a play. And when he does throw the football, there's been a lot of drops. So just really a tough game here so far for the Gators, and Utah just capitalizing on just Utah's failures so far here in this game. So, want to get to some scores here early in this week's action here in week 1. So we're going to start with Elon and Wake Forest. It's a 30-14 game heading into the fourth quarter. So Elon's got the football a little closer than what it should be, folks. So you never know what could happen. UCF just dominating Kent State 35-3. So that one is pretty much a UCF win. Unless Kent State can make some kind of comeback, it's 35-3 UCF. And then elsewhere, with 3:12 to go in the third quarter, NC State leads UConn 10-7. Close game there. It's a good one. And then Minnesota leads 3-0 at halftime over Nebraska, and about to be halftime in Columbia, Missouri. Missouri leads 28-3 over South Dakota. So that is some scores around the country. And so when I return, you can put, while I'm taking just a short little break, you can put in the chat any kind of questions you may have regarding tonight's game. And if there's a player you really want to know about how I think he's playing, then put it in the chat. So when I return, I will answer your questions. All right, welcome back, everybody. So, just a little heads up, what is going on Saturday here on the channel? So, what you can expect, SEC wraparound begins the day at 9:30. That'll go to about 10:15, and then from 10:15 to 11, it'll be college football wraparound. And then at 11, I told you I would announce Saturday's game at during halftime. So, our Saturday game is going to be Virginia and Tennessee. So, if you are interested in sticking around, which we humbly ask you to please stick around to listen to the game, then Virginia and Tennessee is your game. So, it definitely will be a fun one. Of course, comes with the questions. What is Joe Milton going to play like? He is the big question mark here because we don't know what Joe Milton is going to be about. And I've said this multiple times already. So, I mean, you've heard it. So, Joe Milton is the key to the success of Tennessee. Virginia, we don't know a lot about them. Brennan Armstrong transferred out, the quarterback who played there last season. So, a lot of unknowns if you are a person who watches Virginia football. So, we shall see. All right. So, we have no questions in the chat, so we're going to move on. And in a little bit, we'll be right back for college football here on Savor Broadcast Network, which is Utah and Florida. Second half will begin in just a moment. All right, everybody. Our game will start back here in a minute. Of course, we're still waiting on national broadcast to get back to the game. So it was a interesting first half, one that was dominated by Utah. So, predicting what could happen here for the remainder of the game. I feel like Florida, what they've got to do is the offensive line. I think it's got to be the big thing. They've got to really ramp it up. They've really got to try to have Graham Mertz's back because Mertz is just he hasn't had a lot of time here yet. And I mean, I feel like if the offensive line would give him some time, then, and I mean, he showed here early he can make some plays. So if his offensive line could really help him out, then I feel like then Florida's got a chance. Now, what does Utah need to do? I feel like they've got to continue to really make it hard on Florida because, and I feel like they've got to continue to put up some points because I don't think you can really count Florida out yet. Because, I mean, if the offensive line starts really doing good for, really defending off the, really getting those defenders off of Graham Mertz, then I think Florida could come back in this game. But, of course, it's going to have to do with, Utah's just going to have to continue playing good defense. And Florida, they've got to cut down on the penalties as well. That's going to be a big thing. And they've got to convert a third down sooner rather than later. So we'll see what happens. We are about to begin the third quarter. National broadcast is coming back. And, I mean, it's just been a rough game so far if you're a Florida Gators fan. So we shall see what they do. Utah will get the football back to begin the second half. So let's see how Florida's defense does. That's going to be interesting here. Florida's defense is really an interesting thing here. So, all right, coming out to kick off the ball is going to be Trace Mack for the Gators. Of course, Micah Pittman, I believe, is the one who's going to be back. So we shall see. Here we go. Smack is ready to send this away. And the second half is underway. And it'll be a touchback. And Utah will start from about the 25. So, of course, the big play here really gave Utah most of the momentum is the big throw for the touchdown, 70-yarder, to begin the game. And then, of course, Nate Johnson's touchdown run was big for Utah, who Florida had a little bit of momentum. But, of course, after that touchdown, Utah really has had all the momentum. So here we go. Nate Johnson starts the second half with Bryson Barnes on the sidelines just to wait. So here we go. Nate Johnson giving some signals. He's got his running back to his left. Jaquindon Jackson hands it off to him. And he'll get about 3 or 4 yards right there for the Utes. So, just an easy run. Looking like, and Jaquindon Jackson's actually limping a little bit. So, of course, they got Micah Bernard. And then they've got Glover. So, they should be fine at running back. But, of course, injuries are never a great thing. So hopefully he can get back out on the field. But here is Nate Johnson handing it off to Glover, who will get about 2 yards right there. It's going to be third down for the Utes. And they have not really been particularly great on third down either, but they do lead by 14 points, so it has kind of gone under the radar here early. 2 of 7 on third down. Not incredible. Nate Johnson looking. He will pass. Nearly intercepted. Oh, if that could have got intercepted, folks. Devin Moore nearly had what could have brought some momentum to the Gators. But it'll be a punt from Jag Baumeister. And there's the punt. And it's a good one. Oh, this is great. Sending the returner back a long way. And just when Florida thought they had just the slightest bit of momentum, now they've got a long way to go. And that was Wilson, Eugene Wilson, who just had no chance. What a punt, though. Here we go. Here comes Graham Mertz and the Florida offense. It is 17-3 Utah. Here we go. What can this Florida offense do? He's got his running back behind him. And it's a handoff to Johnson. And he will get about a yard. So, not much of anything right there for. So Florida wants to clean up the mistakes and improve the run game in the second half. That's coming from the national broadcast. Of course, they get to talk to Billy Napier. So there you go. Here we go. Mertz all alone in the backfield. 2nd and 9. Passing, and he's got his tight end. That is Jonathan Odom for a couple of yards. It'll be third down. Here is really a big play in the game, and that is, can they convert a third down? This is really this is a big play here. If you are the Gators, you need this. Like, they really need to convert here. So here we go. Got a man in motion. He's got his running back to his right. Graham Mertz takes a snap, passing, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted, and it's going to start at the 12-yard line there for the Utes. It was deflected off of Persall's hands, and it was intercepted. It's Vaki. Sion Vaki, the safety, coming up with the play. Oh, my goodness. Florida is, and that, you can't really blame Graham Mertz there. It's another the receivers have just had a bad game for Florida. And really, you can't blame Graham Mertz on that one. Although, since this sport is so worried about quarterbacks, it will. So here's the run. But before that, we've got a flag. We've got another flag, folks. And no, it's a timeout from Florida. It is a Florida timeout. So, Persall just wasn't ready for that. And it just goes right through his hands. We'll be right back. All right, folks. Welcome back to the Utah-Florida broadcast here on Savor Broadcast Network. Bryson Barnes is back in, handing it off to Glover, who will pick up a few yards. So, how did Utah get the football here just now? Well, an interception, which was not really the quarterback's fault. So here we go, Bryson Barnes handing it off. And here goes Matthews. He'll pick up a few yards. It'll be third down now. And Utah looks like they are just kind of going a little fast. They should score here. I mean, they should, but who never know whether you have a missed field goal or just couldn't punch it in for the touchdown. So, of course, we will see. Bryson Barnes has got his running back to his left in the backfield. He sends him in motion. Barnes looking. He has all the time in the world. Offensive line playing great. Barnes is going to take off. He will score. It is a Utah touchdown, and they have added on. It's 23-3, and now both quarterbacks have ran for touchdowns in this game. And just another mistake by Florida cost them 6. And Utah, I mean, no Cam Rising, they're fine. No Brent Keithy, you would think, oh, this is going to be close. Nope. They are fine in this game. They add the extra point. Utah 24, Florida 3. And I've got to be honest. This is just a brutal game. And Florida just keeps making the mistakes. Just can't help themselves. And it cost them 7 points right here. And I've got to say, though, Utah's offensive line playing great football. I will say they are defending Pac-12 champions. And I will say this, that they are playing like the defending Pac-12 champions, folks. They really are showing it. This is just an incredible showing from Utah in a game we thought would be close. And, well, we got 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. And unless Florida does something to really try to get themselves in this game, Utah really just imposing its will here. Here we go. Becker to kick it off. There's the kickoff. And it'll go back for a touchback. 24-3, Utah. And a little update here from the Nebraska-Minnesota game. Nebraska scores a incredible touchdown, what they're showing. Oh, my goodness. What a play. 7-3 Nebraska now. Folks, I don't want to seem like I'm pulling for anybody in that game, but Nebraska and Minnesota, I did pick Minnesota to win the game, so I need Minnesota to score another touchdown and then hold Nebraska to not scoring anymore. But, of course, my game picks have been kind of woeful this season, so, 4-4, not great. Here we go. Graham Mertz looking, deep pass. It's caught. It's Ricky Pearsall. And let me tell you, what a way to come back. His last target, he fumbled it up, and he was the cause of an interception. And then right there, he beats the defender. He beats number 5, Zamaya Vaughn. And now Florida's cooking. Here we go. Mertz looking, passing. He's got Pearsall again. All right, folks. He's come back from this interception to really get a little bit of momentum here, getting 2 big passes. And now we got a little stoppage in play. And so what a way. Maybe this is the beginning of a comeback here if you're Florida. They definitely need some momentum, at least going into, if not tonight, getting a chance to come back and win. They do have their next game coming up, if you're Florida, is in a real hurt. They play McNeese, and then on the 16th of September, they do host Tennessee. So a little bit of momentum would be great here for Florida. So we shall see. Graham Mertz is 11 for 18 tonight, 168 yards, and 1 interception. So be big to get a touchdown. Here we go. Here's a run. And it'll pick up maybe about a yard or so. And that is Trevor Etienne with the carry. So we got a second down. So, of course, a little bit of momentum there. Now, there was an injury on the play, and that's why we had a stoppage. So that is a little explanation because there was no timeout or anything like that. So here we go. Mertz sends a man in motion. Mertz will pass it to Pearsall, who dances around and makes a play. And it should be about 3rd and 1 to 2 yards here. We'll see how they spot the ball. Just a nice play. And Pearsall just making a little bit of magic there. So 3rd and 1. Graham Mertz has got his running back to his left. He will hand it off to him, and Etienne's got the first down. And now we got a flag on the play. And hold your horses, folks. This may not be a first down. Let's wait and see what this is. And it's a false start against Florida. And just when they had a little bit of momentum. Illegal formation, I'm sorry. But they had a little bit of momentum, folks. Just a little. And again, they shoot themselves in the foot. This game could be 24-6, honestly. They missed the field goal, though. So, here we go. So, this is their second possession in the red zone. Let's see what they can do with it. Graham Mertz is all alone in the backfield, sends Trevor Etienne. So, it's like a jet sweep kind of play. And they just get maybe half. So, it's about 4th and 3 now. And now here's the question. Do they go for this or are they going to go for the points and get 3? Looks like they're going to leave Mertz on the offense out there. Interesting play call. Of course, the analytics probably is telling them 7 is more than 3, which, I mean, yeah, that's true. But when you don't have a lot of momentum, would you rather go for the points? It's a good question here, but they're going to leave the offense out here. This is a big point in the game, folks. 8.5 minutes to go, and Florida is going for it on 4th down. It's a pitch, and it's going nowhere. It goes behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, my goodness, folks. That just shows what kind of night Florida's had. Just not anything special here tonight. Florida is just overmatched. And Utah, unless something drastic happens, this is Utah's, this is just Utah's game. We'll be back. All right, folks. Welcome back. College football on Savor Broadcast Network. And just a rough game if you're Florida, this has been rough. Utah, you couldn't ask for a better situation tonight. Nate Johnson back out as quarterback, looking to pass, and he loses the football. And Florida, we will see who has the football. Nate Johnson just barely gets it back. Florida could have had a little something, but that was just it just came right out of Johnson's hands. Lucky to get the ball back. But, man, that could have been a real disaster here. All right. 7.5 minutes to go. From the 9-yard line, 2nd and 17 here for the Utes. It's a handoff to Jaquindon Jackson, who will get a couple of yards right there for the Utes. So 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And I forgot to ask our trivia question. And so I'm going to go ahead. So our trivia question for tonight, who is the only person to be head coach of both Florida and Utah? So that's our trivia question for tonight. You can, if you want to, answer along in the chat. So if you feel like you would like to do that, please put your answer in the chat. But here's Nate Johnson throwing it to Micah Bernard, and that goes nowhere. It'll be about 4th and 14 there for the Utes. So I will tell the answer of this at the end of the third quarter, which we have about 6 minutes to go. It's 4th and 15, and Utah's punting the football. And if you're Utah, really, this is about managing the clock and just not letting Florida really get any momentum whatsoever. And there's the punt going back to Persall. And he'll get out of bounds after picking up a few yards. So here we go. This is a big portion of the game because we got 5:48 to go in the third quarter. We really don't know if Florida can really give us anything, give their fans anything. Like, are they going to be able to do anything? We'll see. All right, here we go. Graham Mertz has got a running back to his right, and we already got a flag. And this may be another flag on Florida. And it is. It's a false start, and Florida's moving back again. Again, this has just been like a brutal game. 6 penalties for 30 yards for the Gators. And those 6 penalties are really hurting them here tonight. 24-3 is your score so far. 5:48 to go in the third quarter. 1st and 15 here for the Gators. Graham Mertz sends a man in motion. He takes a snap. Now throwing back to Persall. He's going to take off with it, getting a few yards. Nice play from Persall. So he's made a couple of good plays here in this third quarter. Of course, after the interception, he's really started to kind of make his way back here, make some great plays. Let's see what they can do. So, of course, Cole Bishop, the defensive player for the Utes, 8 tackles tonight. So, great game. Here goes Montrell Johnson down the sidelines, and they are past midfield. Here we go. A good drive. Can they capitalize? Big question here for the Gators. So, here we go. And they're showing the replay. Montrell Johnson just had a lot of field to play with. So, here we go. Mertz has got his running back to his right. Mertz looking, throwing, and it's tipped up and nearly intercepted. He was looking for his receiver, but just nothing there. Of course, after it gets batted around. But again, offensive line just not giving him a lot of time. That was just too easy for that Utah defense just to bull rush him. 4:40 to go here in this third quarter. Mertz has got his running back to his left. He will fake it to him. Mertz looking deep. Looking. Oh, it's nearly caught by Persall, who's looking for a holding call. But I don't think he's going to get it. He will not get that call he wants. Let's see. A little bit maybe not enough. There's not enough to really say he got held if you're a referee. So 3rd and 10. Florida is 0 of 8 on third down here in this game. Here we go. Just going to hand it off and get not even a yard. Montrell Johnson. And it's going to be 4th and 9 if you're the Gators. So here you go. You're down 24-3. You got a 4th down. And it's interesting because they are going to keep the offense out here on 4th and 9. Interesting play call here. Mertz looking, and he's sacked. And just great defense here from Utah. I mean, what can you say? The defense of Utah has really just held its own and just made this tough on Florida. And it is 24-3, and Utah has got the football again. Utah is playing a great game, and they have got one of the best defenses in college football. I can already say that's here tonight. Man, what a game. Bryson Barnes back in at quarterback. Takes a snap. Gonna hand it off. And that's Money Parks losing a couple yards. Haven't called his name since the long touchdown, so quite a while. Brought down behind midfield. So 2nd and 19 now here for the Utes, as we are under 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Of course, like I said, the trivia question is down below. You can answer that if you would like in the chat. Here we go. Bryson Barnes throwing, and that'll be caught. So getting back some of that yardage. That's to Micah Pittman. And now they got a third down, a long third down. But still, nonetheless, third down here for the Utes. Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And we will see what they want to do. 3rd and 11. So, of course, both quarterbacks for Florida, I mean, not Florida, but both quarterbacks for Utah have played a pretty good game. So here we go. Bryson Barnes dropping back. He's going to run himself. There's a flag on the field. Of course, he gets the first down and slides, but there is a flag. So let's wait and see what this is. It's a holding against the offense. So this is probably going to be like a 3rd and 16 here for the Utes. And I mean, yep, it's a holding. I mean, just easy right there to call that. So 3rd and 21. Excuse me. I thought it was a 5-yard penalty. It's a 10-yard penalty then. Here we go. Bryson Barnes. He's got his running back to his right. Takes a snap. Looking. Throws. And it's caught by Micah Pittman, who lost the football at the end, but he was already down. So that should be about 4th and 20 here for Utah. So punting unit will be coming out here for Utah as we're under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bowmaster is out to get ready to punt this away. There's Ricky Pearsall getting ready to receive it for Florida. There is the punt. And he will just let this go. And that was probably a bad decision. He could have just took a fair catch and had better field position. But, of course, and there's a flag on the field. So let's wait and see what this flag is. Had a lot of flags here tonight. Very sloppy play. It's a holding, and it's going against Florida. So, all right. Arizona State and Southern Utah have started, and Jaden Rashada, great throw. And then hands it off. Arizona State with a touchdown. 7-0 here for Arizona State against Southern Utah. So, it's a little update they're giving on TV. So, here we go. Florida has got the football. It will be big to see what they can do from the 1.5-yard line, folks. Here we go. Graham Mertz fakes the handoff, gets it out to Jonathan Odom, who will get the first down and more. Nice play there from Florida. Turns disaster into great field position now. So here we go. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. So the interesting part about this is Florida's had some great drives, just have not been able to really capitalize on them. So let's see what they can do now. All right, here's a snap. Gives it to Trevor Etienne, who gets back to about the line of scrimmage. So we're under 30 seconds. Be interesting to see. Do they just run another play, or are they just going to take this to the fourth quarter? Be interesting to see what they want to do here. Not the way Florida wanted to start the season, but it looks like they're pretty much just going to take this to the fourth quarter as 2 seconds, 1, and that is the end of the third. We'll be right back with the beginning of the fourth quarter, folks. Here we go. Fourth quarter. Graham Mertz has got his running back to his right. He's giving some signals out to his teammates. Here we go. Mertz looking, passing. And that is his tight end. Looks like number 89, Hayden Hansen. So now it's third down. Welcome back, everybody. Cooper Naylor here with you for Savor Broadcast Network. Of course, Saturday we got more college football. So the answer to our trivia question, which I will give here at the beginning of the fourth, is Urban Meyer. So interesting right there. All right, here we go. Graham Mertz looking, throwing, and there is a flag. And that was clearly a hold right there on the Utah defender. And that definitely will move it. Travis Broughton. Pass interference right there. That's going to move the sticks right there for Florida. Nicely done. Definitely some interference there. So now first down for Florida. So let's see, can they possibly take this game to overtime? I don't know. They'll have to get 3 touchdowns in this quarter, and they haven't scored 1 yet. So let's see what happens. Mertz, quick pass. Jonathan Odom. That's a few yards right there. Good play. Just get some positives right there. It's all you need if you're Florida. So, been a little bit of a rough game. Had some good drives, but some of the play calling is questionable about the going forward on fourth down. And then, of course, they missed that field goal, which could have really, really helped to make this a 24-6 game possibly. So here we go. Persall with the catch from the Mertz throw, and he's about an inch short, I would think, unless they're going to count it for the first down. We'll see what they say. This is definitely very close. Of course, Florida's going fast here, trying to get some, chunk plays, get a touchdown, get some momentum here. So here we go, 1st and 10. Here's the fake handoff. Mertz looking. Now going to throw, and that is just batted away. He was looking for Marcus Burke, and that is Zamaya Vaughn with the breakup. And he looked like he had separation right there. Looked like Persall had some separation, but Mertz did not see him. So here we go. It is 2nd and 10 at the 49. Mertz looking, and he gets it back to ETN, who's going to lose about 2. Just not the type game that Florida has wanted, and just tough. I mean, another completed pass, but it's just behind the line of scrimmage, and it loses 2 yards. So 3rd and 12 here. Florida's been woeful from 3rd downs, and this is not easy right here. 12 yards, and here we go. There's a flag. Mertz will just run it out of bounds. It's going to be on Utah, most likely. So let's see what they call. Of course, this will be interesting. And it's an offside against Utah. So this should be, we'll see. But this is 3rd and 7 now. A little bit more manageable. So let's see what they can do with this. Graham Mertz in the backfield all by himself. Sends Persall in motion. Quick pass. It's caught, and that's Wilson. First down and more. So the first third down play that really got you some momentum there. Okay, let's see what they can do with it as we're under 12 minutes to go here in the game. All right. And just good run after the catch there for Eugene Wilson. As here is the handoff to Trevor Etienne. Gets the edge, and he'll pick up a few yards right there. Good play. So here we go with another drive where Florida really is doing a good job of driving down the field. But can they finish? Can they score a touchdown? That's really the big thing here. If they can get a touchdown, then they definitely have a chance in this game. If they can't score a touchdown, then Utah's about to run this game out. Here we go. Mertz dropping back. He's got to. Looking, throwing, and he just has to throw that one away. Good way to just get rid of the football if you are Graham Mertz. Now it's 3rd and 5. What do you do here? They've got to pick up another first down here. You need touchdowns if you're Florida. Touchdowns are big in this half right here at this point in the game. They've got to have a touchdown. Of course, it's never easy to play at Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City. And here we go. Here's the handoff to Montrell Johnson. We got a flag, but he's got the edge and he's got a first down. But as I said, there is a flag. Not a good sign if you're a Florida fan. And it's against Florida. Just when they picked up another first down, it's another illegal formation, folks. That is just brutal. I mean, that's about as brutal can be. So, here we go. Graham Mertz has his running back to his right. He'll take the snap, looking, going to throw it back. Montrell Johnson, and he'll get a few yards right there, but it's 4th down. So here you go. Got 10.5 minutes to go in the game. They're leaving the offense out there. Of course, it's going to be a pass play. But let's see what they can do. It is 4th and 2. They have not converted on either of their two 4th downs so far in this game. So let's see if a third time's a charm here if you're Florida on a 4th down. He's got 2 men in the backfield with him. He takes a snap, looking, and that's actually caught. That is Persall. And I don't know if they may review this. It looked like the ball got tipped. But, this is close. This is going, unless Florida can get the snap off real quick, which they do, which now they stop play. They're going to review this, and I think it's about to be Utah football, folks. Okay, so the ball does get batted. And the man who bats the football, it's Lander Barton. That right there could just have put the icing on the cake, folks, if you're Utah. We'll be back. All right, folks. They are still deliberating what to call this. Now, here is a little breakdown of what you're looking at. The pass, as it stands right now, is complete. But they're looking to see, does Persall have control of the football? Now, the ball did get tipped up at the line by Lander Barton, who is the defensive player for Utah. And the ball looked to be, may have touched the ground without complete control. Here we go. And they say it stands. So that is to be honest with you, I'm kind of shocked because if I were a referee, I probably would have called that incomplete and it would have been Utah football. But that, of course, we'll see. That's a big break if you're Florida. You're trying to get back in this game somewhat. We got 9.5 minutes, 24-3. So here we go. He's got a running back to the back of him. Mertz now looking down the field. That's touchdown. They needed it. Florida finally in the end zone. It's Caleb Douglas for the 19-yard touchdown. And man, they needed that. Goes up and just snags it over Vaughn. Nice placement by Graham Mertz. That's a touchdown. That is a touchdown. Florida has finally gotten in the end zone. Took 13 plays and 98 yards, and now they're going for 2. This is kind of strange here. We'll see if it works. Mertz looking. They got the 2. All right. So it's 24-11. A little bit more manageable now. So we shall see, but we shall see. Florida now down only 24-11. Maybe we have a little bit of a game. We'll see. All right, everybody. Florida getting ready to kick this ball away. Trey Smack out there to kick it to the Utah offense. 9.5 minutes to go. 24-11. Be interesting to see what Florida does here. So here we go. And here's the kick. That one's just going to go back in the end zone for a touchback. So Utah was expecting an onside kick here. And Florida was set up in an onside kick. But, of course, we shall see what kind of defense Florida can play. Florida really needs to get like a 3 and out. That would be big. So we will see what they do. Here we go. And it's Nate Johnson out at quarterback for Utah. Utah, just to put the icing on the cake, probably wants to go down and score. So here's the snap. Nate Johnson takes off with it. Breaks a tackle, and he already got up to the 45. And he just uses his legs just to pick it up. I mean, it makes it look too easy right there. Just makes the running just look too easy. Of course, they're going to let the clock run. We're at 9 minutes now. And Utah just taking their precious time here. Not in any hurry. Realizing they're up 13 points. Don't have to go fast. Just pick up, just run a play before the time runs out. Just get the snap off. Hand it off to Bernard. Bernard looking for the edge. He got it. And he picks up a few yards. What could have been a disastrous play. Turns out they get a few yards right there out of it. So, great offense right there from Bernard. And Utah just letting that clock run as much as it can. 2nd and 4 now. 24-11. Utah with 13-point lead over unranked Florida. Micah Bernard has carried the ball 5 times for 31 yards. And he gets it again. Breaks a couple tackles. He's got a first down. Great play there. We're under 8 minutes now as Utah is just content to just run the ball. I mean, that is just what they're wanting to do. Just run the ball. 7.5 minutes now left in the game. And really just a dominant performance if you're Utah. They're just playing it very conservative. Here you go. Another handoff to Bernard. Pick up about a yard or two. It's going to be 2nd down. About 9 yards to go. 7 minutes to go. And Florida just not much they can do on defense. Nate Johnson throws, and that one will go back behind the line of scrimmage. Should be about 3rd and 10 after the Aspen catch. So, be 3rd and 10. As Bryson Barnes is back in the game now. 3rd and 9 to be exact here now. 6.5 minutes to go here in the game. And really, if you're the Florida defense, you've probably just I think they've probably let too much time go by. It's going to be hard to score 13 points if you get the football back and if Utah doesn't score. So here you go. Bryson Barnes looking, throws, and we got a flag. Probably some kind of late hit on the quarterback. And if that's so, then that pretty much is about to end this game. We will see what this is right here. And it's on the offense. Penalty is declined. It's 4th down. So Florida, they're going to get the football. It's 4th and 9. And Florida could potentially go down and score another touchdown. And then we got to, then we're in for it. Good game. Of course, at the end of the day, they're going for a long field goal here. So Cole Becker's career long is 56. This is a 55-yard field goal. Good snap. Ball's there. No. Just left. And now Florida has got good field position. And depending on what they can do, Florida has a chance, folks. With just under 6 minutes to go, Florida has a chance. And it just went left at the last second. That could have been a really big miss by Becker. We will find out in a minute. All right, here we go. Graham Mertz takes the snap. Dancing around. He's got his man. It's Wilson, and it's another first down. He gets out of bounds. Of course, with it being a first down, they're going to, till they get the ball set. Clock won't start. Good start on this drive. Here we go. At about the 48 on Florida's side of the field. Graham Mertz calling some signals. Here you go. Throwing. That one is caught by Douglas. Another first down. All right, let's see what Florida can do. They're getting up the field kind of quick, getting first downs. So here we go. He's got his running back to his right. That's Trevor Etienne. Mertz takes a snap. Looking, going to throw it back to Etienne, who will get about 2 or 3 yards before having a multitude of Utah players bring them down. Clock's under 5 minutes now. Not really going fast. That's not, just looking to get down there and score. 2nd and 7 now from about the 36-yard line for Florida. Here we go. 4.5 minutes. Clock is ticking. Mertz looking, dancing around. Going to throw it to Wilson. Wilson's going to make a play. He's got a first down, and that'll be about the 21-yard line now. And we got a flag. It's going against Florida. And that's what you couldn't have when you're trying to come back in a game. You could not have penalties. Man. Damian George. Damian George with the penalty there. Just can't have that. 2nd and 17 now. This has just been a rough game if you're Florida. Here we go. Mertz looking, throwing. It's to Trevor Etienne. It gets back to about a 3rd and 10 here. Maybe 3rd and 9. We're under 4 minutes. And really, this is a big play here. What is Florida going to do? Just not a lot of, not really pushing the pace here, just kind of going slow, which is probably not the greatest thing to do if you're Florida. Here you go. Mertz takes a snap. Looking, throwing. It's Persall, and he's short. He is short by about 2 or 3 yards. Here we go. This is a 4th down. They're going for it. You got to go for it if you want a chance. And here we go. 4th and 3, folks. Florida's 1 for 3 on the 4th down. So here we go. From the 32-yard line, this is the game. Here's a snap. Mertz. He has a slant pattern, and that's caught. 1st down, Florida. And they will continue on this drive. I thought it was bobbled there for a second, but just reeled it in. Nice catch there. So here we go. Florida really stepping it up here in the second half. Here we go. 24-11. Mertz looking. He'll just take off with it, and he gains a couple of yards. So now we're at 2:15 in the 4th quarter. Interesting to see that Florida's not called a timeout. They're really not going that fast. It's interesting because they're not really. This is interesting. 2 minutes to go. Mertz looking, and just over the hands of Persall. If it would have been caught, that is an easy touchdown right there. And Mertz maybe shaking up a little bit here. That's not what you want. But this is really coming down to the end of the game. Just a little high. Just a little high. Oh, it was on Persall's fingertips. Just too far for him to reach. 3rd and 8 here. 1:52 to go. What are we going to see here? All right, Mertz takes a snap. He's looking. He's taken down. All right, here's the interesting thing. Are they going to call timeout, or are they going to let the time run? Clock is stopped for now. So Florida does call their 2nd timeout. They got 1 remaining. This is interesting, folks. because they are going to go for this because I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's 24-11. You got to go for it with this kind of time frame. You got to go for this. So we will be right back in just a moment. All right. It's a fourth down. Florida is 2 for 4 tonight on fourth downs. This, I mean, I said a minute ago it was the game. This right here, with a minute 43, this is a game. Here we go. You got Mertz. He's got his running back to his right. 4th and 14 here for the Gators. Mertz, and that's just batted away. That is just batted away. Utah's going to win the game, folks. It's a minute 39 to go. Utah is about to win this game. Oh, my goodness. What a way for this game to pretty much end with another batted pass. Jonah Ellis just gets his hand. What a play. Utah's going to be 1-0. Florida's going to be 0-1. And if you watched my stream from last night, you saw that Florida was my 19th best team in college football. Well, they're gone out of the rankings, out of my rankings at least. So, just incredible. And a timeout by Utah right there. Kyle Whittingham not enjoying what he saw. So, got a minute 39. Utah's got the football up 24-11. So you would think what they're probably going to do is just hand it off to the running back and just run this clock out. Pretty much what I believe they'll probably end up doing. So we shall see. But Utah playing a great football game today. Florida just didn't have it today. And really, just not a great game from them. So they're just going to take a knee. And what a game, folks. And Bryson Barnes takes the knee. So they're going to watch this clock tick down. And really, if you had to say who was a player of the game, I don't know. A lot of good things I saw, a lot of bad things, too, that could be fixed from both teams. But just a win's a win when it comes to college football. 24-11, kind of low scoring. But you know what? This is what I think Utah, this is the type game they want to have, is a low scoring win. And a win's a win in college football. So Bryson Barnes is just going to run a little bit, try to eat some time as he just ends up sliding. So they'll have to take at least one more snap. So be interesting. But a great game played here by Utah tonight. 24-11 is going to be your final score here. And Florida, I mean, at the end, nearly came back and put up a fight, but, just didn't have it. There's your final snap as the clock will run out. Utah's going to win this game 24-11. Last year, Florida winning on their home turf in this series, and then Utah this year winning on their home turf. That is it. I'm Cooper Naylor. This has been College Football on Savor Broadcast Network. Thank you for watching. We will see you again Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. Good night, everybody.